Well, good morning. Yeah, good morning. I'm okay. Good morning in Australia, right? It's good morning in
Good day.
Australia right now. So good morning. Good day, Aussies. Welcome to another episode of Never Say Die. Hey, I'll be Mickey Flint, your dungeon master extraordinaire this evening. Okay, to all of the Australians that I've just offended, I deeply apologize. But good evening and welcome to Never Say Die, where us four crazy kids are going to play a little Dungeons and Dragons for you. Well, three crazy kids and one middle-aged old man. But that's neither here nor there. Hi guys, how are you doing this week? Save me from myself there, will you?
I'm the middle-aged old man here.
Well,
Chicago, Australia.
Happy Thursday.
everybody have a good week. As I need to turn off my cell phone.
I need
It's
you.
Friday, Junior, so it's always a good day. Got some D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us, everyone, on this Thursday night. Last week we had quite an interesting story unfold as the party reached the city of Talonstad and discovered that it was not quite what they had expected, that there was more to the city than common knowledge had previously leaked to the rest of the empire. They came in, they escorted the blood hunter, dagger of the oath of the sable dagger, into the center of town, where she had to make her report to the watchmaster, and you were not allowed in, so you progressed onward after purchasing a massive amount of beef jerky and began sharing it about with the residents of the city.
It's the jerky of friendship.
It is, exactly.
+2 jerky of friendship.
You proceeded on a little bit, tried to maybe find out a little bit the lay of the land, and Gwendolyn was very keen about heading off to find somebody she had known, perhaps through some on the sly conversation held in plain sight. And you went to Gorn's, shall we say, a dive bar? That might be a little generous for Gorn's. A bottom of the barrel type of place, run by a dwarf with an eye patch with a bit of the sea in his blood. And Adric and he swapped some stories, talked about the loves of their lives, a couple old ladies that they had sailed upon. But there was no lodging to be had, so you had decided to press on into the night, where you saw these explosions in the air, and realized that they were kind of there for festivities. And the workers in the area that you found yourself in, making up quite a bit of gnome and dwarven folks, that was a bit of a surprise. Heading off into the night, you followed, and as you were following them, you heard an altercation down an alleyway. And as you walked in, you found masked figures harassing two dragonborn, Ravenite dragonborn, at the end of this alley. And as you attempted to intervene on their behalf, battle ensued as they immediately attacked you. During the battle, probably their leader, in a very ornate dragon-shaped white mask with horns, appeared on a rooftop and began to cast spells down on you. But once you engaged with him and you had dispatched his lackeys and thuggery in the alley, he invoked magical means to disappear and evade you. You spoke with the two Dragonborn in the alley and learned that they had been trying to be pressed to join some kind of organization, the Caustic Heart. And they had been trying to refuse, and thus why they were being roughed up. You shared some jerky with them, and you made friends, and they had left. And that is where we left off. The alley is now quiet, and everyone was about to do something, I believe.
Loot the bodies. I have a really big note that says loot the bodies in my notes. So we didn't forget.
Excellent. All right. So, that is where we find ourselves, in the alley, with bodies to loot.
Okay.
Like we'll let the rogue take that.
Gonna start with this one.
Before you search it, I will cast guidance on you so you can do a very good search of these bodies.
Thank you, Clem.
Color shall guide your nimble stealing fingers.
Okay.
Not great, not bad. Just average.
All right. So, what'd you get?
16.
Okay. Are you searching all of them, Gwendolyn? Is
I'm
that,
gonna do them one at a time. I'm gonna start with the guy that I'm standing next to.
Okay. You rifle through his pockets, and you are able to find a few coins. You find, as far as a thug in the alleyway, this is the one who had the big mace, the big giant mace that looks almost like a raw piece of just rock or metal on the end of a pole that he was swinging about two-handedly. And he's carrying 10 pieces of gold and 9 pieces of silver actually on him.
Whoa, he's loaded.
Nice.
As you're shifting him around, however, you find that he's got something around his neck, and it takes you a minute to kind of shift his body around to pull it out, and you actually see this.
Whoa. Dragon claw.
So
thing.
some kind of claw, very much like it could be a dragon claw, but it is around his neck.
It is no longer around his neck. It is now in my pocket.
Okay.
Interesting.
Did I see you take it? Or are you being sly about it?
I'm gonna be a little sly about it. I'm gonna roll a sleight of hand, stealth of hand.
It's operationally the same thing.
Yeah. Well, my stealth and my sleight of hand are different numbers. Let me get rid of my guidance. Ah, where is it? There it is. Good luck, bro.
Roll a perception, Clem.
For this,
I don't
that
think
was
I can
25.
get that high.
Yeah, it's 25.
Highest I can get is a 24, so I may not have advantage on.
So even with your 18, you're very, very perceptive as a cleric. You still don't quite notice that Gwendolyn slips this thing off of the body and into her pocket.
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the next one.
All right. Roll your investigation.
Whoop. Maybe I should have asked for a little help.
You took off before I could go help you. Sorry.
Yep. That's for this guy right here. Whole lot of nothing.
Well, you do find something on him, though. You find 4 gold and 7 silver.
Okay.
And another of the, since you were looking for, you kind of are already aware, you find another necklace around his neck. When you looked at the other body, though, his the masks that they were wearing, they seem to have almost like a scaled texture to them. They're not as ornate as the one that you saw the individual on the roof wearing, but you can see there was some kind of effort to work in some kind of some sort of pattern into them, like a scale.
Okay. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna try and slip this one off too.
In your pocket without them seeing?
Uh-huh.
All right, roll away. Clem, you kind of get a sense that she put something in her pocket. You didn't quite see what it was, though, on that one.
Okay.
Since you both had 18s on your perception and your sleight of hand, you definitely saw something, but not quite exactly sure what she did there.
And then the last guy. Clem, darling, can I get a little bit of help?
Sure, I'll go over and start rifling through the guy's pockets. I'd be to
No,
help.
no, no. Guidance. 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 The thing you did.
Oh,
Helped
sure.
well.
Sure. And I'll stop rifling through his pocket.
Oh, I needed it.
As you're pulling through his pockets, Oi! What's going on over here? And you turn to see 4 members of the Crown's Guard, having been perhaps drawn by the sound and the commotion that you had seen kind of walk off before this all began, have now come back and have moved into the mouth of the alley. And you can see it's like they kind of spread out to block any retreat.
We were attacked by these men in masks.
Aye, that be true.
We were just defending ourselves.
He kind of looks at the 3 bodies that are laying. Well, I don't know you. I don't necessarily know them either. But what I do know is that there's 3 of you and 3 of them, and they're dead.
Well,
I just saw you rifling through their pockets.
I was
We're trying to see
figure.
who they were.
We were trying to figure out who was attacking us. There's actually 4. One got away.
And where did he get away from? We did not see anyone leave this mouth of this alley. We questioned.
The rooftops.
No one.
He was a magic user. He did something and disappeared.
Roll a persuasion.
Do I get anything because I'm telling the truth? Because that's.
No.
You get to roll a persuasion.
Okay. I'm scared. Okay. 21.
Well, miss, let me say this. Perhaps I believe you, perhaps I don't. But what I do know is that these gentlemen had an arrangement, shall we say, with the guards. That now is going to now leave a hole in our retirement fund, if you know what I'm saying. Now, what do you propose that we do about that?
I want to insight check him.
Okay.
Come on, roll 20. I clicked it. There it goes. Oh, freak.
Hard to read. No. You do. It's Thursday night. You got to drop one Matt Mercer line every at least once a night. So, you know, even it is. He's not giving you too much, but he seems dirty. Yeah. Definitely, even with an 8, you're getting the sense that he's pretty dirty. The guys behind him are just kind of fingering their weapons. One has a crossbow loaded and drawn, kind of aimed in your general direction already. So, what do you think we should do about this then?
So you knew the men.
I don't like this.
They knew these men, I think.
Just really tough. I mean, this could go one of several ways. It just depends on how you're feeling.
Clem's
I'm feeling light in the money pouch.
And how much would you say you're feeling light?
Oh, well, I can't quite put it. Let's start off with what it is that you rolled these men for.
I mean, I was just trying to identify them.
Lass, do I need to remind you that theft takes with it a pretty steep penalty in the Empire?
Did they have any money on them, Gwen?
I'll throw the money on the ground.
Now, girl, you're taking this all sideways. You should be much more friendly. I'm offering you the opportunity here. We could go about this the hard way. I could apprehend 3 murderers.
You can try.
Easy.
Oh, hold.
Easy.
Now, why don't you go about picking that up and handing it to me like a good little girl?
Gonna glance at Adric. It was kind of a...
I had to mute my mic. I was laughing too much. Because that even made me go, ooh.
I'm gonna look at my companions to see what they think about it.
Just give it to them.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I don't know. I would give you that. Adric's giving you that look like, hey, if we got to smack down, I'm here
giving
for
you
it.
that look like, just give him the money. Like,
Fuck.
pick it up and hand it over.
It's a little angel and the demon.
Exactly, God. Jesus, you two. She's gonna grit her teeth and just pick up the coins.
See now, that's not so hard, is it? We could all be friends here. You don't get turned into pincushions. Now, perhaps we can knock off theft off of the list of charges then. However, that does leave the bodies. Now, what shall we do about those?
Add 4 more.
It was self-defense.
It was. They attacked us. Wouldn't you defend yourself if you were being attacked?
Roll a persuasion on that. I'm assuming you're trying to persuade, not intimidate with a threat.
Yeah. Oh! I'm changing this dice color. This is not working for me.
All
Not
right,
that
so
color anyway.
a 13.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me do the quick math on that and see what happens.
Oh, God.
Okay. He takes the coins that you had given him, and well, this will be turned in then for evidence. And he pockets them. He goes, "It's a pity that we couldn't have settled this here with a small fine on top of this. But seeing as you are so determined to plead your case, we'll be taking you in now, and you can speak in the morning to the Watchmaster. Now, drop those weapons so we can take you into custody." And the other, all kind of, the other three, I've drawn crossbows, heavy crossbows on them right now.
Told you I didn't like this town.
Should I start a countdown then?
Gonna look at my companions. I'm not gonna make the decision alone.
Never been taken into custody, and I don't plan on it now.
Three.
Clem?
I don't want to go into anyone's custody.
You've made a great mistake, darling. I'm gonna pull out my bow and shoot.
All right, roll initiative. As soon as you start to pull your bow, they're already ready for you. So.
Shit. I'm gonna die.
I didn't see my. Looks like a 7 for me.
Yeah, you're on there.
All right, let me
We're
just
making
set
friends
this
real
up.
fast in this town.
I can honestly say I did not expect that.
I don't know what else we're gonna do. They're not listening, so.
All
Could
right.
have pled our case.
Everything I said was truthful. They're the ones that decided to be assholes.
All right.
Could really use Yargo right now.
Right.
Sorry, guys, it's just taking me to this attack here. Just set this up as hey. Okay. All right, so Gwen, what was your initiative?
11.18.
Okay. Adric.
I rolled an 8.
Okay. And Clem.
7.14.
And for those who are confused by that, we're using the modifier of the dexterity to kind of just automatically put people in order. All right. Well, as they see you start to move, they go to cock their crossbows. Gwen, you actually do get to moving a little bit quicker. They probably did not expect you to do what you did. So go ahead.
Yay! That was so close. How cool would that have been if that was a crit, though? That would have been super dope. But I'll
Yeah.
take the 25. Whoops, ignore the sneak attack. It's just 5. I didn't realize that was marked. Whoopsies.
At which one?
This guy.
Okay. All right, so you do 5 points.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. You have other actions and bonus actions and all that.
Yeah, I'm going to duck back here and use. Make sure I can do this. Do I have that? And I would like to use my bonus action to hide. The 15.
Okay. That brings up Adric.
Right, I'm just gonna. It's happening. So I'll put
Doesn't need
I'm gonna use
to.
my bonus. I'm gonna use my bonus action to put 5 points of my lay on hands on myself. Still a little hurt from that last fight. The
Oh.
guy who took down kind of bonked me. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's not too bad. Move 5 feet up and try to edict blade this man. Roll to hit. Crit on the first roll, baby. Let's go.
Don't fuck with us!
All right.
Sorry.
All right. Now, does it automatically count it now when I roll the damage? Does it count it as a crit?
Let's see. Let's roll it and see what happens.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yep.
A lot of dice.
So 7 plus 8. So what? 15 points?
Yeah, let's make sure that it's calculating that correctly.
Should be
Make sure
plus
that it's
some more.
Plus 3, plus 1, plus the magic. Nope, it's in there. It's doing it.
Okay.
And then let's make sure your second one is too. Yeah, because it's D8, so that's max damage. So 15. Wow, damn. All right. So you slash into him pretty good. Okay. Damn.
It won't go down without a fight.
I guess we're fighting then.
I mean, you could try talking to him. It wasn't working. You said you didn't want me taken in, so this is how Gwen's mind works.
All right, Clem.
Well, Clem will step up. 1 second. Step up to here and use a channel divinity. Start talking. Maybe start singing. By the dawn's early light. And cast Radiance of the Dawn.
What'd you do?
I need my shield would start glowing and presenting my holy symbol, and they need to make a Constitution saving throw. All of those guys do.
Ooh. Okay.
I don't see it here as an attack or anything, so that's why I just put it in the chat.
Sorry.
Okay, so con saves all about.
DC 14.
So back right fails. Middle back saves.
Yep.
And the other 2 fail.
All right, so they take
This guy's having a
Two-
particular bad
2d10. 10 radiant damage from my shield.
Okay. Cool.
And then half to the ones that the one that saved. It's a quick 35 damage, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, there you go.
Hang on. 15, right? No.
Oh, it was, yeah, it was I clicked it and lost the damage. How much it was?
Thought it was
think you
10,
said-
right?
It was 10.
You said
10, 10,
Yeah.
10 and 5 on the save. Yeah. So 10, 5, 10, 10.
Okay.
Damn, that guy in the front can't be feeling good.
This guy's gotten hit twice already.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to just manually do this. The old school way. So, give me 2 seconds. I'm having a little difficulty with
No worries.
You're fine.
RVTT here, so I'm gonna give him colors.
Sure.
Because what? I hit him for 15. You just hit him for 10. So that guy in the front, that was the one that was trying to run us, got hit for 25 already. Two turns in.
So you best walk away with your gold.
This guy in the back has what? 5, and he failed, right? This one?
Yeah. Yep. He failed.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah,
he did
so
before.
he's at 15 already, right?
Yep.
15
15
down.
points of damage is
peppering him
taken.
down a little bit.
Blank is 5, and the other one is blue is 10, and purple is 10 plus the 15, so 25.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Our guardsmen are not too pleased, ladies and gentlemen, as you might imagine.
They started it.
Actually, they're kind of just doing their job, but we'll just leave that alone for now. The one closest, he took a mighty slash from the Edict Blade, and even though they're wearing his heavy splint mail that he's wearing, you were able to slice into him, and he's got blood splashed kind of up on his face, and you see him kind of wipe it off the back of his thing, and just kind of has this grin now with this blood smeared across his face as he draws out his longsword and, using it 2 hands, swings at you with it for 19 to hit.
Yep. That hits.
You take 6 slashing points. 6 points of slashing damage. I'll be okay. And he, with his, he then draws a short sword in his offhand, and makes a swipe at you with that.
That doesn't
13, however, you're able to parry. You're able to parry with. It didn't have quite as much strength in it as he kind of quickly drew it out and slashed at you. You're able to take it on your shield and deflect it. And he's going to move to put you between himself and the rest of your party members. Red sees Clem and fires off. Ooh.
Ooh,
Heavy
no.
crossbow.
Can I use
and-
my warding flare to impose disadvantage on that?
Oof.
Do you have to do it before I put it
It
up?
says-
in front?
It just says when I'm attacked by a creature within 30 feet. I can use my reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack.
Oh yes, as long as if you're
Reaction.
using a reaction, you absolutely certainly can. All right, so let's see, 14.
That does
So
not hit.
And warding flare, is that what is that? A channel divinity or?
No, it's some. It's a light domain.
It's a light domain
first
thing.
level thing. Yeah.
So as he's about to shoot, and he's got you dead to rights, and this is Pelor infuses your ancestor's shield that you're carrying, and it gives out a quick burst of light, and it's just enough to kind of throw off the aim just slightly, so that this bolt comes whistling. You can actually feel it as it whistles past your face, Clam, and then it dies down slightly, almost like a flash bulb going off just at the right time.
Whew. This isn't good, guys.
All right, the next one is going to see their commander is engaged, so he shoots at Adric and misses wildly. This one being a little bit braver, draws his longsword and moves up and makes 2 attacks.
Oh my gosh.
22
Hits
you for 8 points of slashing.
and I'm down.
Oh no.
Ooh.
That's all he can do. We'll leave it at that. Let's say he's gonna also take a step back now. All right, Gwendolyn.
I'm gonna pop out and just check something.
Idric's down.
I know, I literally can't do anything. I'm a rogue. I have no magic. Most I
We
can
don't need
do.
to fight.
Huh?
Stop fighting. Give ourselves up.
Are you gonna say that to her?
Yeah, I'm saying it. We did nothing wrong at this point.
I'm gonna. We're gonna be in a lot of trouble if we give ourselves up. But I also don't want to die. I'm gonna chuck the necklaces back here. I'm gonna take them out and just chuck them.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna come out with my hands up.
Interaction.
I'm just gonna come out with my hands up. Bow put away.
Okay.
And that's it. I'm just gonna.
Yeah. You want to hold an action? Do you want to say anything? You can certainly make a persuasion plea or.
Okay. We don't have to go killing each other.
Remember, the guy's got a big slash across his chest, right? All right. Adric, you are unconscious, so give me one death save. Because he did come in to actually swing at you with intent.
Mm-hmm. Deceive. Oof, I saw that 18. We hit a 5. I saw that 18. I was like, yeah, all right.
So you guys can actually see where this slash comes on. You're actually seeing little spurts of blood that are starting to get lower at this point. All right, Clem.
I'm gonna reach down and cast Cure Wounds on Edric.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that.
It takes me a second there.
That's okay.
I rolled a 4 for HP link to Adric. And I'm going to go down and kneel next to him and put my hand over him and hold him down.
You gonna sit on him?
Basically, actually, let me move in front of him. Say, we'll come with you. Obviously, you're stronger fighters than us.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. The one who you guys actually wounded the worst, who's in front of you, looks down and he's like, "Drop your weapons."
I'm not technically.
Do it now! You have it
Put my
still
hands
on your
up.
person. You have it on your
my
person.
side. Yeah. The I'll put my mace. I'll drop my mace.
Yeah, I'll take my bow off, set it down, take my quiver off, set it down, unsheath my rapier, set it on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, I assume I just won't pick up the edict blade, or if I had it in my hand, I would just.
I'm picturing the Keira Knightley with when she's trying to get the last one out of her back.
Oh, I have a
And
crossbow
fire.
too. I'll set that down too. I forgot I had that.
Well, it didn't have to be this difficult. You're in for it now.
So rude.
At which point he motions them forward. Gwendolyn, they come up to you, and you feel your arms being pushed back behind your back, and manacles are put into place. The same goes for you, Clem. Edric, you get a bit of a kick from the guard that you had hit. You're prone still, so...
Oh!
That's all right. It's not added together. That's just the easiest way for me to do it. So you take you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as the guard that you sliced open with the edict blade looks down and kicks you. He looks down at the cut on and brings out the blood. A little bit of disbelief on his face. He eyes your blade and he goes to pick it up. Huh. Should have known. No runt dwarf could have done this unaided. We'll be taking this into custody too. The rest of them gather up your weapons, and as you are now all manacled, they begin to start to push you towards out into the alley.
Where did he kick me? Did he kick me in the face?
No.
Oh, because if he did, I was say I just want to spit some of the blood out and just smile at him. He'll be seeing me soon. It's the pirate in me.
Okay. So they begin to walk you now off towards, and they don't blindfold you or anything like that. So you are taken.
I keep track
Physically.
of every step of the way.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
like, remember what we're taking.
It's almost the same route that you actually took here. They take you almost immediately the opposite direction that all of you, the revelers that night, were going. And as you leave the alleyway, you can actually still even hear what is a raucous party going on not too far away, it sounds like. But they lead you the opposite direction through that industrial area and into the main thoroughfare that separates the various architectural types that you walk along. during the day. You can see that there's actually been made an effort to light the way. There are posts with lanterns or candles in glass and metal shields at various points along the way, providing light. Something that had kind of been led to believe maybe this is more of a civic-minded than you even would have thought. Give me a survival check, Gwendolyn, on your way, to see how well you're able to. Okay. You're able to pretty much realize, even though you came during the day, that this is indeed the same way that you guys came, and that they are leading you back towards where you saw Yarga actually enter. And as you approach, you see the two guards that were outside are different. You don't see the portly guy or the one that you shared the jerky of love with. But you're whisked inside. You quickly get a view of a wooden floored hallway with a couple doors going off to either side, and then your rough push down a fairly standard staircase into a lower level, where there are two guards immediately pop up and stand, and you find yourself being remanded to their custody. Attacking the Crown Squad, attempted murder, and thievery for these three. So you're grabbed roughly. They don't apparently take kindly seeing their comrades bloodied by a fight with you. And you're brought down. You see that there's really only 4 cells on this level, this holding area that you're brought into. The 3 of you are all pushed into the far cell on the right-hand side, and the door clangs shut. The guards, you hear the lock being thrown. Pleasant dreams. Magister will talk with you in the morning. I don't think you're going to like that conversation. So you realize that they have taken from you, as you were being brought down. They've removed, they have your weapons. You saw them put them in some kind of locker, just off to the beginning where these 2 guards are now posted, sitting at a table on the just out of earshot, maybe, or not too far away. And they've removed all of your pouches and your backpacks and whatnot. So while you still wear your armor, you do not have any else of your materials or implements.
Did they find my daggers?
Where were they hidden?
Inside my boots.
Let's see. Let's have them roll roll deception.
Not sleight of hand?
Nope, because your hands are bound.
Ah, shit.
They did indeed find your daggers. They're 14 perception over your 9 deception. It's a pretty standard place to hide a dagger. I mean, they would pat you down pretty thoroughly. You now find yourself incarcerated in the Hoot Spa, having attacked the Crown's guardman. And what do you do? What are you guys doing? Talk to me, kids.
Well, it wouldn't be. What do we do?
This is a mess of things.
Maybe we shouldn't have attacked them.
You gave me the okay! I looked at you, and you said you didn't want to be taken in. I didn't see any other choice.
I didn't want to be taken in. I didn't want to attack either.
What other choice did we have at that point?
I assumed we were going to talk our way out of it.
I tried. That's what I was doing the whole time, and it didn't work. Shithead gods.
Trying to grease their own pockets. Listen.
Do you think we might be able to plead with the Ravenites? See if we can get a hold of the family. See if they can help us. I don't know how much
you can
help.
get in touch with them.
Drop some names.
Barash and Dacine?
I mean,
What about Gord?
I don't think he's gonna have much sway here.
He was going to help his one friend get out of trouble.
But
Potentially. Might have some connections.
Maybe
he
Yarga
also
has
quite
connections.
in debt.
That's true. We do have a blood hunter that could speak for our character.
Do you fully trust her enough to get us out of this?
Well, I do believe she said she was going to need us to help her take out Scam. If she needs us, she may have motive to help.
That's true.
You really got a hold of that guy with that sword.
Oh, Adric, if
He's
you
gonna
had
be-
not gone down, I would have fought to the end. Didn't like the
Me too.
odds.
I believe our might was strong, but I think we were outgunned and outmanned.
Outnumbered, outplanned. Sorry.
I do believe the term is outmanned, but you certainly seem to have been so. How the tides have turned. It's delicious, don't you think? You hear the now familiar voice as you look over to the cell that is across the hall from yours to find what looked to be previously just a pile of blankets and whatnot was sitting there now. Sitting up is the familiar face of Gerald Horn. I do tell you, I must believe this is delicious.
Oh, I'm sure you're enjoying this so much.
Well, as we had arranged for you to perhaps help me out of my mess, no, I'm actually not enjoying it very much at all. However, the irony you must submit is delicious.
And you're assuming that nothing has been done about your situation. And
Evidence to the contrary.
I would like to use Thieves' Cant.
Okay.
To tell him that I talked to Gord, and he said he was going to take care of things for him.
Before he's able to kind of keep the facade up, you see a brief glimmer of. Actually, give me an insight. Let me see what you see.
Come on. Ah, yes, okay. 21.
What'd you get?
A 21.
21. Yeah, you see the clear signs of his eyes widen, and that knocked him back a bit. And you almost get a slight hesitant second of this hopeful kind of look before this snotty facade comes dropping back down over him, and he brings in a sneer. And you notice that he purposely he looks at the other two. I think it's Clem and Adric, as he says, well, we'll just have to see, don't we? Because as it looks, we're all in this now. Together. Maybe he'll be joining me on the way to Blade Garden. So perhaps I should be a little more friendly to you then.
Perhaps. Just gonna sink into a corner and sulk.
He kind of starts to. You can hear him. He's on the maid of Larry, singing some kind of thing mumbling under his breath, and he starts to pace around. You pick up in his thieves' cant. Well, I guess my thanks to you, and I owe. All right, anybody?
I guess we should just rest until morning. We have a big talk ahead of us.
What are we going to do? As you can see, they don't like listening to me.
I do think we should try to name drop Yarga.
Name drop the Dragonites.
Not sure about the Dragonites yet. Goes against kind of our story. Self-defense.
You were attacked.
No, I mean, it was. You're right. I mean, do you want to try talking to them? Maybe they'd be better listening to you. I don't do well with authority.
You want me to negotiate?
I don't know. Obviously, what I was saying wasn't working.
The only thing I can do well is try to scare someone, and I don't think that's going to help us here.
I can keep talking, but...
I'm happy to talk, but I don't have too many good ideas.
I mean, I can if you want me to. Just give me something to
Let's
say.
just see what they say to us.
I'll be looking to you for cues. I don't do well in these situations. But the sooner we can get out of it, the better.
I agree.
So, what did you do?
Saved some lives, took some lives. Some gods were assholes to us. I shot one.
You shot one? You shot a crown's god?
I damn near cut one in half.
Oh, you three are precious. I do believe I might starting to like you.
I don't take kindly to being threatened, and they weren't listening. The only way out was through them. Things just didn't go well.
Well, perhaps you should learn to, shall we say, grease the wheels, so to speak, instead of thrashing about, slashing with your sword.
One has to have money to grease some wheels, and as of right now, we don't have much.
Yes, well, that is true as well. It's amazing with your sparkling personalities that you couldn't just talk your way out.
Well, when you're talking to daddy guards, there's only so much you can do.
Ho ho ho, the plot thickens. They were dirty, you say?
Oh.
Did they try to shake you down?
Oh, of course. Trying to tell us something about these dragon cultists. I don't even know what they are. Would I have recognized what those symbols were, what the lockets were?
Roll a religion. As you think back upon it. Perhaps if you had shown it to your cleric.
I was only trying to help.
12.
Yeah. You get the sense that it is some kind of religious totem. thinking back to it. You don't have one to really examine right now. So yeah, you think it was a religious token, but you're not sure to whom.
What?
Either way, the god had some sort of, what'd they say, agreement with these ruffians we caught shaking down a couple of townsfolk, and then tried to shake us down.
As they do. Yes. Interesting. Well, it seems to me you have the makings of some good leverage there. It'll just come down to how much they believe you versus how much they believe their own men.
Yes, we're exactly. Be in here for a while.
Well, staying in here a while would be preferable to being shipped off to join the army, to be press ganged at Blade Garden. Some of us have that to look forward to.
I might be joining you. Things don't.
What a merry trip that'll be.
I heard the Menagerie Coast is good this time of year.
It's good every time of year.
Why stop there? How about Taldori?
It's Vasselheim. I've heard great things about Vasselheim. A little
Yeah.
bit for my taste.
Cold weather never quite sat with me well. I do have heard, though, of a wondrous place in Menagerie Coast. The Pleasure Palace, I believe. The Pleasure Cliff. The Pleasure... Well, anyway. Amazing. Well, we can wish all we want, but I don't believe we'll be going anywhere this evening, so if there's nothing else that I can do for you, gentlemen and lady, I suggest that I turn in to my luxury appointed suite here.
While we're talking, I want to... Thieves can't... Payment in kind would be nice, as kind of a reply to what he said previously about owing.
Yeah, and as you're saying that, that's as he looks around and goes, in my lovely luxury suite, you know, and you get to say, you know, the meaning comes across as, I don't know what I could do while in here, but he taps out, you know, a little bit with his hands, and the thieves can't respond to that as whatever I can.
Well, like I said, I think we should just rest now. What else can we do?
Agreed.
You feeling okay?
I'll be alright after a little bit of sleep.
All right.
I think I can cast Cure Wounds on you again. It just says,
How much time? Like, because if we're gonna sleep, like, if this is like through the night, then, like, what time is it? Is it like, are we talking like middle of the night right now? Is it kind of still only a few hours after work?
It's a few hours after dark. So this being, you know, late summer, early fall, you know. I mean, potentially. It's not like you can set a wake-up call.
Yeah.
There's no do not disturb sign to hang out at the front of your prison cell. In fact, you don't even have the benefit of benches or whatnot. Gerald Horn has a blanket of some sort that has seen much better days. you have a bucket in the corner. And Adric, you've been in worse sprigs than this.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like I would look at Clem's like, that's all right, I'll be all right, and I take my own lay on hands, and I'll put my other 5 points on me.
All right. So Adric retreats back to the corner and touches himself, and gains the benefit of 5 points of healing relief.
That's sexual healing.
You hear a deep sigh from the door. That's the spot.
Sexual. Gonna settle it against the wall. Just try and ignore it.
So as you do that, you and the healing energy begins to flow into you. You start to get this light presence in your head. It begins to fill with almost like an ember starting to grow, and brightness filling in your head as you can start to feel the healing power coming over you. But then just as quickly, it's almost as if a cloud moves across the sun, and you hear a voice in your head, grow stronger. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let's do this. Let's see how long you are allowed. You're about 2 hours into sleeping, and when the guards come kind of in and start, they must have had a shift, kind of a shift change, the noise of which startles you awake for a few minutes. You hear some laughing and whatnot. Give me, what do you guys do? Do you get up and look? Are you going to just try to sleep through it? I'll let you guys decide.
I feel like I'll just try to sleep through it.
Okay. I mean, you've had a couple drinks too earlier, remember?
That's true.
I want to try and see who it is.
Give me a perception then.
That was an 11.
I know, yeah.
No,
but no, yes, please. Thank you for all those at home. We've learned that we must tell you what those are as well, so that you are clued in. You see that, they're definitely Crown's Guardmen. It's not any that you recognize per se. You do kind of hear them joking, and you hear they're kind of laughing about, and you hear, I swear to God, the little dwarf sliced him straight across the chest. I mean, that's what they said. They said he cut right into him like he was out of paper. And the others laughing. Oh, that serves a barrack right. Fucking bastard. He deserves what he gets. I hate that guy.
I'm gonna get up and lean against the bars. So we have something in common then.
Oi, inmate. Keep your voice down, or we'll come in there and give you what for. Go to sleep while you can. Give me a straight up charisma roll, though.
20 is teasing me. I got a 12.
But it's, you're still kind of, I leave off. They're gonna get theirs. No need to rub it in. They did give a little what for. Did you see those bodies that we're gonna pull out of that alley? There's a bit of scrap in them. Lass, you just get some rest, eh? You're gonna need it.
I go settle back in.
Let the dice decide. Okay. So, several hours, there's no light that comes in. But you do get the benefit of a long rest in jail. Not a pleasant long rest, but for mechanical purposes. You do rest. You're in there for long enough before a thing is brought to you. Food is brought to you. And even though you're in the hoot spa, the water is relatively clean. The bread, though it might have a little bit of mold on corners here or there, it's not rotted. And they have fed you, which is something to be said for them. You see Gerald, without too much of his normal pompous self. You can tell that he's on the edge of. They keep him on the edge of starvation during this whole thing. As he leaps forward and he grabs up his bread, you can see him dipping it into the water to soften it up into chewing on it as he wolfs down his meal. So, anything, kids? What do you do? Just gonna leave it? You take it? What do you do?
So it sounds
Clemens,
like
yeah.
Beric is not a fan favorite with his own men.
How do you know that?
Overheard some guards talking. They said he deserves whatever he gets. Not sure if we can use that information, but maybe
Perhaps I know he's a greasy bastard. But if they do give us food, Adric will eat it.
Okay.
Yeah, Clem too.
Yeah, I'll eat.
All right. That will count against your nourishment, your rations for the day. So that because you didn't eat yesterday either.
No,
you drank.
we are eating.
Yeah, the jerky.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a
No,
Oh,
that's good. That's good. If you go more than a day without eating, then levels of exhaustion start. You roll Constitution saves to see if you start gaining levels of exhaustion. That's all.
I like the idea of them. They have the friendship bag of jerky in an evidence locker right now.
They do indeed.
Stowed away.
Let's see how much is left when you guys get out?
Oh
No.
You spend the morning just kind of cooling your jets a little bit. Those of you who pray for spells, do so. So you can adjust your spells as needed. And not long after, however, a detachment comes down the stairs. And you see 4 Crowns guardsmen with manacles in hand, asking you to stick your hands through the gate so that they can shackle you up.
Can Adric's meaty palms get through there?
Yeah, they're wide enough that you can slide them through.
All right.
Palm to palm type of thing. And in such a way, they are able to shackle you. They actually tell you to do it from behind your back through the bars, and you all comply.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, without too much of a hassle, they shackle you and open up the door, lead you out. As you start to walk out, Geralt Horn from the far south. Well, good luck to you now. Remember, honey will get you more than vinegar. You're led out, back up the stairs that you were led down last night. But instead of going out the front door, you're led into a large double door to the right. You walk in and you recognize very quickly a administrative type of office. There is a small desk with a very, shall we say, a younger looking administrator. She's basically scratching notes and filling out forms and a small desk near the door. And as you're walked in, she sees you and she goes, she looks over and says, "Watchmaster, the prisoners you requested are here." And you see in front of you a woman sitting at the desk. She is probably a halfling, judging by the slightly rounded but pointed ears. And you see that she's you could just mostly see the top of her head, where she has kind of steel, salt and pepper, gray and black hair wrapped up into a very large bun on top of her head as she's shifting through some reports. She goes, "Yes, I'll be with them in just a moment." And the clerk looks at the guardsman who nudged you forward into the room, and with a wave, the clerk dismisses the Crown's guardman. You notice that they step out of the room, but they take up position in the hallway, so they're not too far from you at all. After a moment or two, the face of the halfling woman looks up at you and slowly looks at each one of the three of you. "Well, aren't you just a pain in my ass, the three of you? I am Watchmaster Yerder, and we're going to decide what it is that we're going to do with each of you." And we'll take a break right there.
I like your style.
All right, so do what you need to do. We will swing back in 10 minutes. 10 minutes? We'll give it 10 minutes this time. Everybody go make some popcorn, and we'll see what happens to everybody when we return.
Dun dun.
Welcome back. And so, as we left off, you had all been taken up into the Watchmaster's office, led in, and behind the desk you now are faced with the middle-aged veteran halfling woman, Watchmaster Kira Bollinger. So, what am I going to do with the three of you? Let's see here. What is that we have for us today? Well, appears murder in the streets, thievery, and attacking and wounding a Crown's guardsman. My. What a busy night, your first evening in my city. So, before I ship you off to either execution or a very, very long time in prison, is there anything you'd like to say in your behalf?
Look at my...
I was gonna say we're innocent.
It was
Explain.
It was an unfortunate circumstance that escalated much further than it needed to, and an error on our part.
We were attacked and we were scared.
Attacked by whom?
The gentleman in dragon masks.
And the white dragon helmet.
Excuse me?
Some sort of religious group in your city that some of your gods may have some dealings with. I don't know if you know. But they attacked us.
Why would you say that?
Well, we did try, and then your god tried to run our pockets.
I believe his name is Barak. He tried to shake us down.
Did he now? Give me a persuasion right there.
All of us?
No!
And Adric.
I rolled a 10. The dice are just not being kind to me today. No. She's not gonna believe us.
I do find that rather difficult to believe. Barak is, shall we say, not an exemplary example of Crown's God stock, but to shake you down in the middle of the street. And you say he's working with these religious cultists, you called them?
Middle of the street is definitely... Oh, well, I got manacles. We were in an alleyway, to be fair.
Okay, fair enough.
We heard a scream, and I'm gonna look at both of them. There were some dragonborn, and they were getting hassled by these men in masks. And when we confronted, they attacked us. We were defending ourselves from these. I don't know what they were from. They were wearing some type of a dragon mask, and the dragonborn were pleading for help. And then one appeared on the roof, hit us with some strong magic. We may have hit them back, and then he left.
Well, this is a very different story than what was reported.
It's
Your
the truth,
gods
ma'am.
didn't want to listen. They
Well,
were more interested in lining them up.
what are these dragonborn that you so heroically saved?
I can give you names.
I only have their names.
What became of them?
They went home. Because we saved their lives. And then the Crown's God came.
Pity for you that they're not here to give an alibi.
Do you know them?
But yes.
You could send
Names?
Barash
The scene.
was the elder, the other was a child.
Geraldine, make sure you mark those down, please. You are aware that there are literally 1,000 or more Dragonborn under my protection in this city.
Do you guys remember?
I'll need a little bit more to go on than a single name.
Barash and Dacine?
Disney. That was their names, but
Yeah, their names.
Make note, Geraldine.
they were Talus.
Well, yes, most are here. In fact, had they had tails and been Dragonbloods, this might have been a much quicker conversation. There are only a handful in all of Talisdan. So it is your claim that you rushed to the aid, cut down the attackers, only to be found looting their bodies as my Crown's God came in, whom you then attacked. Have I missed anything?
I mean, there's some details you're missing. The original intention was to identify who had attacked us. I may have lifted a few coin, which I gave back to Barak. Can't blame a girl. Money's hard to come by these days.
Did you now? Geraldine, is that in the report? No, ma'am. No, Officer Barak did not report any confiscated funds.
Because in his pockets.
Interesting.
But that's all I took. They've already
Implied-
searched me. Everything else was mine.
He implied things would get worse if we didn't.
Threatened our lives.
So you attacked a Crown's Guardsman.
It was a bad judgment call.
To say the very least, yes.
A dirty
I would agree.
Crown's God.
But
Wouldn't
I don't take
expect-
kindly to my life being threatened.
You have a very high opinion of yourself, young lady, for one so young and inexperienced.
I just value my life.
Well, then perhaps not attacking four-armed guardsmen who easily could subdue you. Let that be a life lesson to you. And I pray to Pella that you actually have the time to grow from this experience. But
I believe I will, if given the chance.
such arrogance and youth. You find it charming. I do not. You are to be shipped off to toil in the mines, if I deem it worthy. So, you have the opportunity to prove yourself useful to me and avoid that fate. I would hear more about this organization. This, what did you call them? A religious something or other?
It's some sort of religious group. I don't know beyond that.
Something with.
They
with
carried
dragon masks.
necklaces. They carried necklaces that were like almost like a dragon's claw, and they had dragon masks. So, whatever that means.
Necklaces.
All three of you roll insight.
I got a 9.
Ooh, I got a 21.
I got a 10.
While Clem and Adric don't really pick up much on this, Gwendolyn, you, just by her subtle shifting, she very much reacts for a brief second. I mean, you see that the mention of this dragon's claw kindle some kind of recognition with her, and definitely strikes a reaction.
What kind of, is it like fear? Is it like
Yeah, with a 21, you concern. And the brows kind of knit for a moment before she kind of turns her back to you and crosses her hand behind her back and starts to pace a little bit. Describe for me these masks. Gwendolyn, was there masks found with the bodies of these deceased gentlemen that we removed from that alley? No, ma'am. No mention of masks in the report.
That would make sense, too, considering that your barrack said that he had an arrangement with this cult. Makes sense why he would cover it up. No money, no masks.
They were dragon-shaped faces. The lackeys that had... There was an attention of detail to them. There was scale put into it to make it look more like dragons. The one that escaped us, his was white. So he may have been of something of a higher position.
With horns.
To do. And as she's kind of, you're saying that she's been moving about the room, and she kind of closes the door behind you. So now the door behind is no longer open to the hallway. She looks at the three of you. And she's weighing you. She's really giving you you feel the weight of her gaze as she's taking you in and pondering. She's a very small woman, especially to you, Clem. This woman, this halfling woman, and she's wearing an impeccable Crownsguard uniform. I mean, it is obviously unlike a lot of the ones that you've seen, in very militaristic, almost pressed and clean. The white parts gleaming on the bright red, and even her secretary is very crisp. Everyone roll for me a persuasion as she's weighing your words to her.
All right, there we go. 19, finally a good roll on a skill check.
Come on.
I got a big old 3.
22.
All right. Clem, she looks up at you, and perhaps it's because she's never seen a turtle before, or she doesn't really get a good sense of you, and quickly moves past. However, she gives each Adric and Gwendolyn a very appraising kind of look. Gwendolyn more upwards at you. Adric almost at your eye level. Still a little bit smaller. And she looks at you and she says, "The door is closed. Gwendolyn, is that your name?"
It is.
And you would be Clem. And you, Master Dwarf, are Adric.
Aye.
Very good. We'll stop taking notes now for the moment, shall we? Yes? Thank you. Well, you certainly have made an impression. Your names are not unknown to me. I had a dagger in here, also causing me nothing but grief. With her lost charge. Yes, Yaga indeed. She had spoken well of the three of you. Appears that She was quite accurate in your ability to cause mayhem, but perhaps failed to mention your utter lack of discretion. That being said, I do believe you. Did they mention any kind of name, this group? Did you pick up anything? I'm looking for confirmation.
The Caustic Heart. They were trying to recruit for the Caustic Heart.
The cult of the Caustic Heart. It is as I feared. It's a pity that we don't have any of that contraband, scaled tyrant worshipping medallions that you had mentioned. Those would have been helpful indeed.
Actually, I might be able to help if I won't get in trouble for it.
Oh, you are, Peach. Go on, tell us. Put all the cards on the table.
In the
Time
alleyway.
to ante to the three dragons.
I come to you with complete honesty. I had lifted 2 necklaces from 2 of the ruffians that attacked us, and I ditched them in the alleyway before turning myself in. They might still be there.
Make note of that, will you, Geraldine? I would like to say that your story of collusion between my guardsmen and this cult was preposterous. But this is not the first incident. What to do with you? I have 2 problems currently. One, a slow simmer that you have stuck your foot into, and the other, a bit more pressing. Yaga's failure to deliver her prisoner has put the entire town on a bit of alert. There are those who are expecting, shall we say, the delivery of that prisoner. Those who have been causing us a bit of difficulty. A little bit of too much of the thumb of the Empire's upper management, shall we say. So, what to do with you? Do I trust that I can put you to good use? Or do I ship you off to the mines? Well, what should I do?
Believe we could be of service.
I mean, Yaga wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for us. She almost died, you know.
I protect her.
So did some of you.
It happens occasionally. We are entirely at your service and your mercy.
All right, we'll roll one last persuasion, Gwendolyn, at disadvantage because of your cocky shit.
I wasn't being cocky. I was being honest.
She kind of thought you were.
I was being honest. This is gonna go horribly. Oh.
Oh.
No, my highest is 19. See?
You are young. I'll give you that. And say no words right now.
I can't do that. There we go. Oh no, my hands are behind my back.
Yeah. This is not a time for speaking. This is a time for listening. Because you will have one and one chance only. I will be, against my better judgment, I must say, releasing you into the custody of Yaga. And you consider yourself deputized. You will aid her.
Elbow him.
You shall aid her in the recapture of the fugitive. You do know of whom I speak? Skenzabris?
I just nod because she said not to talk.
Yeah, there's quite a bit that you can learn, apparently. It is of the greatest importance to the Empire that this Zabras is recaptured. And to that, I am willing to suspend the charges against you, pending her recapture. I trust that those terms are agreeable to the three of you.
Aye.
This is where you can speak now.
Yes. Most agreeable.
Yes.
Aye.
Geraldine, you will write up the warrants, and you will keep them. Should they fail in this assignment. Also, I would ask that you draft for them letters bearing my seal, giving them permission to investigate and reapprehend one Sken Zabras, fugitive from the Empire. Acceptable? Yes? Yes?
Incredibly.
Very well. Geraldine, the door, if you would, please. Now, you will be returned to your cells, awaiting Yaga's return, at which point she will sign for you and take you into her own custody. It should not be long. I expect her within the hour. If there's nothing else, any questions? No?
Have-
Very well. This is your chance. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Have you heard anything about the whereabouts of Skin by any chance?
It has not really been my preview to apprehend the fugitive. The order of the Sable Dagger was secured, hired, if you will, to manage the capture and the delivery of that prisoner. There are several, well, there were two anyway, very interested parties from the, well, I don't mind saying, the Cerberus Assembly. Perhaps that'll give you the proper motivation to understand how important this fugitive is to the Empire.
Ms. Bollinger, will we get our equipment back once we're back in custody?
Well, once Yaga signs for you, yes. There are procedures that we must follow. You've made quite a bit of ill will amongst the guardsmen. Barrack might be a bastard, but you can't go around slicing up guardsmen. So, you must go under the custody of the dagger in order to appease the ill will that you've caused.
Understandable.
That's fair.
May the glory of Pelor shine on you.
And on you as well, Clark.
Bow to Kira.
All right, gentlemen, these are ready for their cell again. And in the process, just to move this along, you guys are taken back to your cell without much to do. Your manacles are released from you as you're put into the cell.
I'm gonna stretch.
You do see Gerald Horn, however, very interested looking at you with a kind of a So? Your heads are still attached. That's a good sign.
Yeah, and as long as we can get your old cellmate back, looks like we'll be good to go.
Oh, do tell.
Same thing we've been doing. We find skin. You want to call her Scald for some reason. If we find skin, apparently they're very interested in her. So, ticket to freedom.
Isn't that just interesting? They've roped you in nice properly, haven't they?
Unfortunately, our hands were tied, both literally and figuratively. Not a position I like being in.
Pity. Kind of winks at you.
I rolled my eyes at him.
Well, if only you knew somebody with information about Sken from a first-hand basis.
Oh?
I would imagine that would be invaluable.
It would be, quite. Do you know someone? I just kind of narrow my eyes at him.
Moi? Well, I never. Oh, love, you're not very good at this game, are you?
I'm
This is not loud,
exhausted.
Bloody
It's
hell.
not loud, not
Exhausted. You have no idea what we've been through in the last 24 hours.
You slept. We're all been here sleeping. Anyway, listen. I owe you a bit, don't I?
I would say.
Well, I did indeed share a cell with that wretched creature for more miles than I care to say. And I can tell you this, she does not like to speak very much. Not a conversationalist. I'll give you that piece of advice for nothing. However, she does like to curse. And, well, I can be very persuasive. And I can tell you this. She did not expect that breakout when it came. She was just as surprised as I was by those little devils coming up and planting explosives on the side of that cart. Let me tell you, they didn't care if they blew me to hell.
Sounds like maybe she could have been kidnapped.
Oh, I think once that hole was there, she was quite willing to go.
Mm-hmm.
She was no fool. Had they cut my manacles, I would have gone at myself as well. I did ask. Wretched creature laughed. It was a very disconcerting sound, let me tell you.
I would imagine. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Do you have any idea of where she would have gone?
Well, one would think she would have gone as far away as she possibly could. However, I do believe that she had a wide range of contacts. A myriad of them, you could say.
Does that mean what I think it means? Would Gwendolyn pick up on that?
What's your background again?
The former Cobalt Scholar, I think, is what we did for her. But I do have Inside Informant. Where is that? Bio.
Yeah, slap up your, let's see that real quick.
The Inside Informant?
Yeah.
Gonna let me? There it goes. You have connections to your previous employer or other groups you have dealt with during your previous employment. You communicate with your contacts, gaining information at the DM's discretion. For those at home.
Yeah, that would be if you were trying to get info from the members of the Cobalt Soul. Yeah, you would definitely know, though, just as even having working for the Cobalt Soul, that the Myriad is the largest criminal organized criminal organization in all of the Empire, and probably all of Wildemount and the entire continent, really. So yes, you would know what the Myriad, what when he name drops the Myriad there like that she had criminal connections.
Those are dangerous people to be involved with, but makes sense why she's wanted.
Depends. As long as you don't cross them, they're business people.
Fair.
But you're right. Not to be taken lightly. Roll a last persuasion, Gwendolyn.
Oh, oops. It's gonna be the 11.
I was going to tell you to do it. I was going to tell you to do it with advantage because he owes you.
Oh, then 23.
23. He appears like not to want to say anything more. But as he looks at you, kind of forlorn and clearly out of your element, he says, he kind of drops the. He looks to see the guards where they're at, and he goes, "Listen, just between the two of us, that one liked a good brawl. She kept going on about wanting to pound heads. She seemed to get more and more frustrated as we went on that she couldn't actually hit something. They had her manacled straight to the bottom of that cot. She couldn't move at all. I would have felt bad for her, but she was a ruddy bitch, let me tell you."
Those types of people.
My guess is the first thing she did on getting out was beat something senseless. So I'd look for a trail of bloody noses and cracked heads, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I might.
Now, don't you forget your promise to me, eh? You best not be pulling my leg.
On my honor, things have started. He said he'd take care of it.
Well, I don't know what quite you're talking about, young lady. Truly, you must get better at this game. But I think I've said all I need to say. And I know that you have as well. Happy hunting, children.
Cheers.
Soon thereafter, you guys hear a familiar voice from the open doorway. "Yes, those are the ones, please, if you would." And you look over to see the black-haired and black-cloaked figure of Yarger Ross enter in. The guardsmen who are on duty today don't look very happy about it.
Adric looks very happy.
Sean is so your face.
This is the exact face he's making.
She's. Let's see. Is she oblivious? Let's see.
Adric's not trying to hide it either.
Give an insight, Adric.
Let's see. Oh, that 20. I saw that 20. I got so happy.
So,
The 4.
You're looking like the kid who just got a Red Ryder BB gun for Christmas. As Yargo walks in, you're bouncing all up and down. She's pointingly not looking at you. However, she definitely had seen you. However, you're oblivious to the fact that she sees you. She think that she's just busy doing what she's doing. But she purposely is like looking anywhere but in your guys' direction as you're bouncing around like a kid on crack.
Yes.
Vibrating with excitement over there. She leans over and signs some paperwork. The guards come out, unlock you, release you, and you're able to go to the property locker there and pick up your belongings.
Clem goes right for the shield.
I start putting everything back in its place. Takes a minute.
Same. And everything's
Clem's really
there.
only picking up his shield and really paying a lot of attention to it.
Okay. Well, you seem to have had quite the evening. But come, let's not get into this here before they change their mind. Now, we have a work to do. And she leads you up and straight out, brisk pace. You really have to actually kind of walk quickly to even keep up with her. She has very long legs, and her nearly 5'10" frame moves very quickly out into the square. As you pass through the doors, however, you do hear, that was good jerky. And you look to one of the guards. You see the larger, kind of the more simple Clem. You see the guardsman that you fed a fistful of jerky to. Kind of give you a little. Have a good day. Have a good day.
I'll wave to him.
Give him the thumbs up.
Oh, come on now. Get the bad things. Cut us off. What are you doing? The other one's slapping him. The thinner, grizzled one, you know. So you can hear, as you guys are walking away, them getting into a bicker. Oh, what are you doing?
Fern's making more.
So, got in a bit of a scuffle last night, did we?
Just a bit.
Well, I guess you're really now into helping me.
I guess
Nothing
so.
you can do about it. So, that being said, let us pool our resources, shall we? What do you know about Skenzabris?
Not much, but I was able to have a little chat with her cellmate.
Did you know?
A little bit. I mean, he was there. We needed information. She's a bit of a brute.
Yes.
And was really ready to crack some heads. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to see if there's anywhere that there have been any particularly impressive brawls. Might give us a trail.
Interesting. You can kind of, you can see her kind of processing that a little bit. She goes, you know, Ukad and I first abducted her in Zadash. And we found her because she was a bit of a brawler, as you say. And we staked out the victory pits where she fought for money. And that was where we were able to track her down and apprehend her and serve our warrant. So, that is not bad information at all.
Perhaps she's a creature of habits. I mean, she was in custody, so she had no money. And if that's a good way for her to get money, there's no reason why she wouldn't do it again.
Yes, indeed. So, where would she do that?
what was around? Because I don't have the map. Nope, we just have a map of Parsons.
Hang on.
Oh, I forgot I had this. What does this do? Oh, okay. No, I forgot about the stone.
It should be factored in. The stone of good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should already be in your rolls going in there.
Yeah. But like we were following a trail for her. I just don't have access to any sort of like map for that. To kind of figure out like a direction she would have gone.
I mean, there is a map, but you haven't seen much of Talistat yet. You know.
Well, we were outside of it when we were initially tracking her, and then we traveled to catch up to, because we were in Parsons, and we went after Scald. We left Parsons, I think, to go find Scald, because that's where we met Yarga, but then Yarga was downed, and so we came back
to
Parsons, and then caught up with the prison detail. And then made it to Talentstadt. So we would probably have
you haven't explored a ton of Talentstadt yet.
Yeah.
But you've been through some.
But if your prison detail had been coming here, I doubt that she would have gone the same direction she possibly already knew you were going. So would there be a chance of her being here? Is she that foolish? To risk getting caught in the same town that she was supposed to be delivered to?
Well, who could say? This is the closest bit of civilization.
Are there any fighting pits in Talentstadt?
I can confess that this is my first time here. I was able to procure a map of the city.
Oh.
So we do have that.
May I see it?
You may, as soon as I've finished making it.
Oh.
Hang on.
Well, I was more asking for if I can look at it and kind of, based on the map, determine somewhere that looks like it might be, because I'm proficient in cartography. If I kind of like read it enough to kind of figure out like what part of the city would be best for us to go to for something like that, maybe. Or, like there's something on the map that looks like, oh, this could be a fighting pit or something. I don't
know. Roll a skill check on your cartography tools.
Okay. Do I just click it? Oh, attribute. Oh, what's my attribute for it? Would be
intelligence.
Intelligence? Okay. And that would be a 15.
Be very specific now. Tell me exactly what you're looking for here.
So I'm looking for somewhere on the map. Let me see. Because we want to see if we can find a place where people would be. Maybe like somewhere on the map that looks like it's arranged in a way that there would be a fighting pit in the area. Maybe.
Okay. So you get a good look at the map that she lays out in front of you, and you give it a good hard stare. And you're looking for like some kind of open area or whatnot. You don't see any kind of field or stadium per se. That would immediately say, this is like some kind of arena where you would expect to see something like that.
Can I like hold it up to like light or something and see if there's anything like hidden?
Is it the right moon? Sure.
There could be hidden messages. I don't know.
It's pretty much a standard map of the city. As you're doing so, Yarga kind of is looking at you, like you're a little nuts. I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know. Clem, what about your jerky friend? You think he might know?
It's a possibility. We could go talk to him. You're talking about Fern.
Yes.
It's worth a chance. I'm sure he knows the area.
Maybe he's got another one of those chewing sticks.
Or more jerky.
Do we really need more jerky?
Did the guards take any?
Yeah, was there any missing?
It might be a little bit lighter, but you had so much that it's hard quite to tell.
They're not our friends. It's a friendship jerky.
How
Vile.
dare
He's the
they?
only person we really can trust in this town. You trust a man that can make a jerky. It couldn't hurt to ask. He might know where a fighting pit is. I mean, a man that can craft such delectable meat. May go to the fighting pit to sell it. Who knows?
I mean, Yaga, you're kind of the lead on this detail.
If you have a contact that you can ask for details about the city, then by all means, let's try that.
The Ferns.
Gonna go visit Fern.
Who'd he guessed? All right, you make your way back to retrace your steps a little bit back to you see the kind of a little bit of a shack would be a little bit of an insult to the building. It's not dilapidated, but it's not much of an insult. The door seems to be closed. You don't see anyone on the porch today. Roll perception as you guys approach.
All of us?
All of you, yeah, please.
7. Nope, that wasn't me. I was a 12.
16.
Okay.
Yep, I rolled a nice little 7.
All right. So, Clem, you can smell kind of a small fire, and maybe the smell of kind of roasting meats as you guys approach the front.
He's cooking, guys. Let's find him. Fern! doesn't shout his name.
Yeah, I hear you. Hold on there. Just always wait a piece. And through the kind of the half-open door, you can see that there's another open door back in the back there, and you can see him kind of feeding wood into this smoker, and he's feeding a fire. He kind of comes out, brushing his hands off a little bit, walks out to well, isn't it my best customers?
Hello, darling.
How are you? Hey, yes, how
Good
are
to see you,
you?
friend.
Oh, yes, and you too, yes. And then you bought another one. Now, howdy, stern looking woman. Howdy, now. Well, what can I do for you all? You can't certainly be out of jerky already.
We still have plenty, and it's quite delicious.
Been singing its praises all across the town.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's mighty kind of y'all.
But
So, what might I do you for?
he was so very helpful before, and we still can't quite get our footing in this city, and we were kind of looking for some place. We don't know if you...
go?
Is there anywhere where if you... You've probably never been to Zadash.
Zoa?
It's far from here, don't worry, darling. Is there anywhere... Is there anywhere where one could... Oh, how would you explain this?
Fight.
For money.
Fight for money.
Like a fighting
like-
pit where people take bets and they bet on who wins, who loses.
Well, I don't know that is necessarily legal and all of that. So I don't really rightly know if that would be allowed, sir, certainly. And he's eyeing Yarda the whole time that he's saying all this.
Yeah, yes, we understand. It's definitely not allowed. But like, let's say if there were people, hypothetically, that were to do it, I wonder if there was just a place that they would, you know? It's like, oh, like if they were gonna do it, it'd be over there. You know? Something. But obviously we know they can't.
Behind you, you hear a loud, "Oh, for the love of God." And she flicks a gold coin at Fern, which Fern, although he appears to be looking at you very seriously, Adric, he doesn't even quite look away, and he just kind of snatches it out of the air and does his best, almost amazing thing, slips it in his back pocket. He goes, I do believe my memory seems to be tickled now. Yeah, well, there would be a sporting establishment here in town. Very nice, very, shall we say, on the up and up. Although I do believe it's below ground, yes. Could that be what you're looking for?
That sounds
Here in
quite
town.
like it.
Well, I've never been myself, you understand? I not my cup of tea. I get squeamish at the sight of blood. Meanwhile, inside there's there's all these corpses and things that he's talking about.
Don't say, darling.
Look at him a little.
I think what you all would looking for is over at the Black Dragon Inn. The folks who might be able to help you. But I must warn you, it is a very posh establishment, if you know what I mean. Not really my scene, so to speak.
Can't necessarily say it's ours either. But much of a choice.
Well, reckon so.
We appreciate the
Yes.
insight from you,
Absolutely,
Master Fern.
wonderful, darling.
Yarga is behind, and she kind of crosses her arms, and she looks at the three of you. Master Fun, directions, please. Oh, of course, yes, yeah. Silly me, I don't know how it must have slipped my mind. She goes, don't push it. No, not at all, my lady. Yes, of course. So what you want to be doing now, see, is you want to be heading back over yonder past the square, right? As if you're going straight at the old lock. Looking for the waterfall, so to speak. Head on that way. You'll see it. It's a grand old building, one of the original buildings here in town. Yes, indeed. Put some work in it. You won't have any hard trouble finding it. Ask directions along the way. The Black Dragon. Everyone in town knows where that is. Finest establishment in town.
And it's under the ground, you said? In the Black Dragon.
Well, the Black Dragon isn't under the ground, but you might seek your sport, shall we say.
The sporting center is underground. Do we need to talk to anybody to gain access?
Oh, I'm sure you do. I honestly, I could not tell you whom. It's not really, as I say, my forte.
Understood. Thank you.
Oh, well. Glad to be of service. And you be sure to come back in a day or two. I'll have another large batch of jerky.
I'll buy it all.
You, sir, are my favorite turtle I have ever met. You are a turtle and a scholar, sir.
I don't know that I'm a scholar, but I appreciate that.
Well, to me you are, sir. Indeed.
I haven't come across any fish for you to jerk yet, but someday we will jerk fish together.
I'll look forward to that, sir. Yes, indeed. If you excuse me, I've got a fire to manage. I'm gonna have that for you in a day or two. If there's nothing else, I think I'll wish you luck and bid you adieu.
Adieu.
Adieu. Thank you.
Good luck to you. May one of those gods shine. Well, yeah. Baba.
That went very well.
That did. He's so helpful. I like fun.
Yes, well, gold has a tendency to loosen lips. So, shall we then?
Let's go.
After you, Miss Cartographer.
And I'll lead the way.
Okay. You guys pass through an area that looks kind of what you've grown to expect. The architecture on the older side of Talisdan. Mostly stone and wooden construction. Think Tudor, but a little bit rougher, without the plaster. Bases maybe made of stone, pulled down from the proximity of the Ash Keeper, but not going through all the effort to build an entire structure out of stone, using some of the timbers in the area they had built upon those. They look sturdy, well built, but not ornate. And as you pass you through that kind of little bit of a market area, you come into what clearly seems to be maybe a residential feel to it. You see there are people stringing up clothing on lines. You have the occasional group of children running around chasing a dog here and there. Some familiar things for you who have been in through cities where people actually live, areas in cities where they live. Let's see. Give a survival. each of you.
16.
Okay.
I'll take half that.
You'll take nothing and like it, Spalding. Okay. With all the twists and turns and whatnot, both Master Dwarf, Adric, and Master Turtle, you're getting turned around. You know, nothing's at right angles. It's all kind of an organic kind of feel. Gwendolyn, though, you with your background in map making and whatnot, you're very good at following what he says and trying to stay on this northerly line. And you do have the benefit of occasionally catching a sight of the peaks and orientating yourself to it, so it's not too hard for you to do. And you pass a couple of buildings that perhaps could be considered larger, but they tend to look a little bit more residential. You spend about 15 minutes or so in this area looking to see what you can see, and you come around a corner and you see this grand building. It's quite large, and it looks as if it is possibly set up to be more than just a residence. While it could be, you start to see people moving in and out, and they are looking like they are more of that line of customers than anything else. It starts to tickle your fancy, and as you kind of come closer, you realize that the shape of this front awning, this large awning in front of the building, is actually shaped as if it looks like black wings. And if you look the way that the stonework, because this is one of the few buildings that you've seen that is all stone, actually goes upwards and gives it almost the impression of a black head coming across. But other than that, there's no signage to indicate that it is indeed what you seek.
I do believe we found our Black Dragon Inn.
Aye, and it's beautiful. I assume Magic would be pretty impressed with the stonework.
Yes, well. Shall we?
Yep.
Although she didn't say that, Adric. Give me an insight.
Okay. Wait, is this about the stonework?
Nope.
Oh, okay, no. Never mind then.
It's a 5.
Okay.
Yep, nice
So
solid.
you're kind of getting just more of the same from Yarga to you. So. As you guys approach, you approach this large, grandiose building. Something that you would expect to see, Gwendolyn, more from the streets of Zadash. It has an air of sophistication to it that you're not accustomed to in quite a time since you left that city. And the two of you from the Menagerie Coast, while Nicodemus Dermis has some beautiful architecture, it doesn't have this kind of solid stoic build that you see in this building. Adric, you certainly, as your love of the stonework, are appreciative of the hand and craftsmanship that went into this building. There are wide stairs that lead up to it, and you pass through swinging doors into a very well and cheerily lit, open and common area. Even early in the morning, there is pleasant music being played. There is everything is brightly lit. You see velvet curtains are along the walls, covering some of the bare stone, giving it a sense of warmth and sophistication that really seems a bit out of keeping. Even at this early hour near midday, there are minstrels in the corner playing. You see several tables, all of which are highly polished wood, set up in the immediate forefront as you walk in. A large bar is to the right. Again, all very highly polished, candelabras on it, giving a soft glow. Everything in here speaks to sophistication, at odds with where you are here in the ass end of the empire, really. So it's something that you would not have expected. As you walk in, you see there are several patrons enjoying meals. There are several servers moving about, all with crisp white aprons down their front. However, you are struck with one individual that you can't help but notice. By her dress, you gather that she is a female, but wearing this velvet, very clinging, long gown with a very high slit up one leg. As she moves, you can see that the green velvet part and the glistening of light blue scale as a dragonborn woman moves across the room, and noticing you enter, starts to make her way towards you. She moves with a kind of almost feline grace as she sways, as she walks. And you can't, as she comes closer, you see the thrills that move up above her head are these turquoise kind of colored, very much complementing the pale blues of her scales, and the light green of this velvet dress. And as she gets closer, you see behind her the swish of a tail with gold bangles encasing it as she comes closer. Well, welcome. We don't get many who look quite like you at the Black Dragon Inn. Let me be the first to welcome you. My name is Dortrux LaRue, and I bid you welcome to the Green Dragon Inn. And we'll leave it there for this evening.
I like it, Dortrux.
Dun dun dun. Well, you guys threw me a couple curves. I won't mind admitting.
I panicked.
Crown's Guard. That's okay. Alrighty then, kids.
Full send.
It was justified. In Gwendolyn's head, it was justified.
It's the inner murder hobo she's
good
got.
stuff. Good stuff. Good story. Okay, just want to again thank our musical provider, Syrinscape, that gave us some of those cool background noises and wonderful music to play by. World Anvil for helping to organize all of this stuff that we're presenting to you guys. A shout out to CJ again for helping me make sense of the world of Exandria and keeping me on point. Anything you guys, anybody shouts out that you'd like to give? Or we'd like to give a big thanks to Ben at # for being our man in the chair and taking such good care of us and helping us to be able to do what we're doing tonight. So thanks for that, Ben.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you, Ben.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Ben.
Cool. And hashtag in general, those guys are awesome.
Yeah.
And we love being a part of their channel and that community. So thanks you to them as well.
Yeah, for giving us.
And other than that,
and the
thanks
people
so
who
much.
watched, people who came out and watched today.
we always like that.
And
Excellent. Well, and you can catch the replays on YouTube. They'll be premiered up in a few days, so be sure to check back if you want to catch up or relive any of those moments.
If you're watching this on YouTube
Moments
now,
that
go
they
back
have.
and look at the old ones.
Yeah, you catch up with the old ones. They're all on YouTube.
It's true.
All right. Well, you guys, everyone have a great week. Thanks for coming out again, and we'll look forward to seeing you again real soon. Have a great evening.
See you guys next
Night,
time.
night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Take care.